Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. The WTA Doha 2023 final is upon us. It's going to be a preview and prediction video to go through who I think is going to win, and not just who's going to win, but how I think they're going to do it, what to look out for in terms of matchups, and also some analysis work as well, looking into some of their previous matchups and tactically what we might see on show in the match. Before we get into it though, remember to that like button and do subscribe if you are new. Thank you to everyone who is a member as well and supporting us even further. Your support is greatly appreciated and really does help us as well. So we do really appreciate all of your help. On top of that, if you're listening on a podcast platform, do leave a rating or review. We do appreciate your support as well. Okay, let's get into it. Iga Swiatek versus Jessica Pegula. It's a really highly anticipated final, and for a few reasons. The first being that Iga Swiatek seemingly seems to have slipped back into that ridiculous run of form she had last year when she went about 35 matches unbeaten, winning, of course, Roland Garros, and then went on to win the US Open as well, topping it all off with the year-end ranking, year number one ranking as well. So that's one reason. The second reason is that Jessica Pegula beat her at the start of this year at the United Cup very convincingly as well, 6-2, 6-2. And a lot of people thought, okay, this could mean one of two things. One, that Swiatek is not going to have a particularly good year. Like, this could just be, well, she had a phenomenal year last year, but it might be very hard to back it up straight away. Or Jessica Pegula is going to be the one to challenge or even go on to win a slam or two this year, because that's a statement win. Now, the big issue, I guess, about counting your chickens too early, as people would say, or counting your chickens home to roost too early, is that Pegula, yes, did beat Swiatek at the start of this year, but she also had never beaten her until that matchup at the United Cup. So we have to take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt. It's good to talk about because it shows she's able to beat Swiatek and has beaten her recently. But the version of Swiatek that she'll be facing in the final, I think, will be a different version. I think it will be a better version. The version of Swiatek, which is extremely confident, is in a very good place with her tennis, and she's going to be a formidable foe when Jessica Pegula comes up against her. In saying that, Pegula has had some very impressive victories. So what we're going to do first is go through their road to the final and talk about that. Then we'll go through their matchups and head-to-head, how that's looked, especially looking at the most recent matchup at the United Cup. And then I'm going to talk about it from a more tactical standpoint. So in terms of their route to the final, Jessica Pegula's had a much harder route in terms of definitely who she's played as well, to be honest, but also it's not been particularly easy, because against Ostapenko, she was 5-2 down in that third set. Ostapenko had two opportunities to serve for the match and serve it out. She did she choke a little bit, but Pegula also didn't give up. She fought very hard and won that third set 7-5 in the end, which was very impressive. And I have to say, she is the type of player that clearly does fight until the end, and there's a reason why she's ranked where she's ranked currently, because she has something about her and she's able to dig in when it matters most. So she went on to win that match, which was really impressive. Haddad Maia, she beat her in the next round, and Haddad Maia's been playing some really good tennis. And then Maria Sakkari. Now, that's a fantastic win as well. The matches between the two are always very good to watch, and she won the first set, lost the second, and then the third set she came back nicely and breadsticked her 6-1, which I thought was a very impressive victory. So, in terms of Iga Swiatek, there's a few things. The first one is that she got a walkover against Belinda Bencic yesterday. But the two matches she has played, which were either side of that walkover, Danielle Collins and Kudermetova, well, she won with identical scoreline, 6-love, 6-1. So she's only dropped 2 games so far in the tournament, and she's been bageling people for fun, which is not a great sign for Pegula because she has been dominant, to say the least. And the issue that Pegula is going to have is that if she ends up getting broken early, Swiatek is arguably the best front runner on the women's tour out of everyone. And I don't exactly have the stats to back it up, so I'm not going to say 100% for sure, but from what I've seen, she's a phenomenal front runner when it comes to being in front in matches, and she converts very, very regularly when it comes to going on to win matches from that position. In terms of the head-to-head then, so as I said, they played each other 4 times, once in Miami in 2022. So all of these matchups, by the way, came last year, apart from the United Cup one this year. So they played in Miami last year. Swiatek won in straight sets. In fact, hold on, sorry, excuse me. They've actually played each other, and let me go back and revise what I said. Pegula has beaten her once before. It was in 2019, so quite a long time ago, 4 years ago. Swiatek was very young then. They did play once in Washington, and Pegula actually won in 3 sets. Swiatek then beat Pegula in Miami, at the French Open, at the US Open, and in America as well again. And that was 4 matchups in 2022. Pegula managed to take a set off her in the latest one in October in 2022, and that was good. There were some positive signs. Then obviously she beat her at the United Cup. Looking at the stats from that United Cup win, I think the thing that stands out the most, and also from watching it, is the fact that Pegula, if you look at the difference in serve quality and how they backed up their serves, there was a huge gulf in class there for some reason on the day. Because both players, Swiatek served at 63% first serves in, Pegula 55%. But forget about those stats, because Pegula has actually served less first serves in. First serve points won 38% for Swiatek, 83% for Pegula. So her first serve is not being potent enough. She's not backing it up well enough for Pegula. She's been excellent behind it. And on the second serve points won 33% for Swiatek, 46% for Pegula. So there's a couple of factors. One, Swiatek not really hitting her spots as she should have been in that matchup. Also not backing up well enough with the 1+ and 2+ shots. And also Pegula returning extremely well and anticipating this Swiatek serve to a T. And that's why she ended up dominating that matchup when it came to the United Cup tie. Now, this Swiatek is hitting her spots. She is confident. She's striking the ball extremely cleanly. It's not going to be as easy proposition as that match was against Swiatek, you would imagine. So we've gone through the head-to-head. We've gone through their route to the final. Now it's time to talk about it from a tactical standpoint. So serve-wise, I think if Swiatek serves how she served at Doha so far, Pegula's going to struggle to really get massive inroads into the service games, because despite how good a returner she is, Swiatek's not only been hitting her spots but at pace, and she's been varying it up quite nicely as well. If she makes 63% of first serves in like she did in that match, I don't think she's going to go on and lose, because I just think the way she backs it up will be a lot better than she did against Pegula at the United Cup, that's for sure. For Pegula, she hasn't really been hitting her spots as much as she'd like, I would say. It is a little bit underpowered, her serve as well, but if she can hit her spots and hit as many first serves in as possible, then that would really help her, of course. For second serves, Pegula has a slice second serve. Swiatek normally hits the kick second serve, and both players will attack each other's second serves, and with, I would say, relative success, because I don't think either has a phenomenal second serve by any stretch of the imaginations. So, with that all said, what about the baseline exchanges? What about the net, etc.? Well, the forehand-to-forehand exchange, Pegula should be able to keep up with Swiatek for the most part. Swiatek, though, has all these different variations on the forehand nowadays: spin, pace, angle, and I think with Pegula, maybe sometimes she can be a little bit one-paced and how she hits the forehand. So that would be a good challenge to see whether she's able to adapt to Swiatek. The backhand to backhand exchanges, again, I actually think Pegula sticks up to Swiatek nicely in this, and I think actually she would want to get Swiatek involved in a lot of backhand to backhands because her backhand, especially down the line, is phenomenal. Pegula's. So yeah, that's all from me. Thank you very much for tuning in. Really do appreciate it. Please remember to that like button and do subscribe if you're new. I'm going to go in prediction-wise for Swiatek in straight sets. But we shall see how it goes. Thanks very much, guys. Stay safe and well. We'll see you on the next video.